Welcome to Hilltopper Sports Weekly Women's Basketball Edition. I am Todd Allum, joined as always by head coach Kyle Cooper. Coach, thank you for being here again. This past week, we're going to cover 3 games on this show. It's Shepherd, Fairmont State, a big one at home, and then Chaney, the last one before the Christmas break. We got a lot to talk about, so let's get right into the highlights. Against Shepherd, that one was at the Butcher Center on the campus of Shepherd University, and this video courtesy of Shepherd, so thank you for them for getting us highlights. This is Brandy Beater as the first points of the game for West Liberty made it 6-3 Shepherd.
And Brandy doing what she's kind of been accustomed to doing really well for us. If people close out on her, she takes advantage and gets to the rim.
And it's Marissa Brown making this a 1-point ball game, cut the lead to just 1 for Shepherd. Again, in the low post, beating a double team. We've seen that time in, time out for Marissa Brown. This is Jackie Kitts hitting a 3-point shot, give West Liberty their first lead, 10-8.
Yeah, and Jackie gave us a big lift off the bench in that game. And again, it's just kind of been a staple of who we are off and on throughout this year. It's just different kids from the bench giving us lifts, and you got to have them to be successful.
This is Grace Fodor hitting a shot from the outside. I thought it was a 3 live action, but it was just a 2. Gave the Toppers a 12-10 lead. Shepherd would take a 16-14 lead into the second quarter. This is McKenna Shives cutting the lead to 3, 20-17 in favor of Shepherd. Jackie Kitts again spots up for a 3-point shot, ties the game at 22 with 6 to play in the second.
Yeah, and again, Jackie just giving us that lift was huge, and she got a clean look, and we told her she's just got to be more confident and take shots.
And with a minute to play in the second quarter, McKenna Shives gives West Liberty the lead 29-28, and Shepherd would take a 32-30 lead into halftime.
Yeah, going into halftime, we felt good about our offense. We were getting great looks. We just needed to finish, but we needed to continue to play great defense.
Shives again for a 3 in the first minute of the third quarter. Toppers lead 35-34 at that point. Again, Jackie Kitts, another 3-point shot, give West Liberty a 5-point lead, 45-40 off the bench from Jackie Kitts.
On that particular play, you see again the idea that people have to pay attention to Marissa Brown, especially with the numbers she's putting up. So playing inside out's become a huge staple of our program right now.
And we just saw the pass from Brown to the outside. Now it's Shives from the outside down to Brown. Made it 47-40. Brandy Beater gets in on the mix here with the 3-point shot. Made it 50-43 in favor of West Liberty.
Great flare screen there set by Johnny Okoski, and we've got to get good movement like that on the perimeter to help us score, because if they start taking away Marissa like they were attempting to do at times, we had to get some good looks outside.
And you see Marissa down low again. Being able to hit that left-handed shot, she can do it left hand, right hand, made it 56-43. Shepherd started their comeback. This is Grace Fodor making it 61-54 to keep a 7-point lead.
Yeah, and Grace, that was a huge bucket for us, and it was a timely basket because they were kind of fighting back into it, and we really needed one and got it.
Late in the fourth quarter, Marissa Brown makes 3 straight buckets for West Liberty. She tied the game at 70 and would send this to overtime. The Toppers again, another tough game against a tough opponent, would go to overtime, and she would get the only bucket in overtime for the Toppers as Shepherd picks up the come-from-behind victory 79-72. Coach, it was a tough game for the Toppers in the end. Morgan Arden for Shepherd just seemed like she turned it on, and I don't know if anybody could have stopped her, maybe not even LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard from the NBA. She was just going off.
Yeah, and it's what you expect. You know, you've got a senior that's a special player, and she stepped up when they needed her to in the fourth quarter. You know, we started coming out of the fourth there with a basket off of a drawn-up play, and our players executed it to perfection. We kept moving the ball pretty well. The good things were happening well for us. We hit some adversity, and it was really just a kid stepping up. And for us, we really don't have that necessarily go-to player. We've got to share the basketball. We've talked about it a lot on other shows, and we just couldn't get enough timely baskets or timely stops. And all credit to Arden and Shepherd, though. They really made it tough down the stretch to score, and she hit some really, really big shots.
Yes, she did. In the first half, it was Carrie Langford for them. Kayla Tibbs also did very well. Those are the 3 players you expected from Shepherd to show up, and they did. We take a look at some of the team stats from this ball game. And again, Shepherd shooting 47%, almost 50% from the field, 81% from the foul line, 51 rebounds for Shepherd in that ball game. They also had 13 assists on 33 made shots, but the Toppers 33 rebounds, 17 assists on 29 made shots. Again, you talked about it, Coach, sharing the ball, a team effort in this ball game for sure from West Liberty.
Yeah, we did a great job of moving the basketball, so it is good to see, and we want to keep doing that. But like I've told you before, we've got to see that a high assist number for us to be successful in games, and we gave ourselves a chance. We just couldn't come up with enough timely stops or timely baskets down the stretch there to hang on in regulation.
So after a tough loss to Shepherd at Shepherd, a long trip, 8 hours in a car to and from, so the Toppers would come home and get to take on Fairmont State, a huge rival, so they have to forget the game against Shepherd, come back and play a good one against their biggest rival in Fairmont State. Brandy Beater started things off with a three-point shot.
Yeah, right off the start, we were really in tune and locked in. We had a good 2 days of preparation. Our players, again, showed their growth and their ability to mature here in the first third of the season as where we're at now. But they bounced back from the Shepherd loss. They stayed together and poised, and we really played together early to get a good lead.
And you can see this team play here again. Shives going to hit this three-point shot. You saw Brandy Beater get the miss, the offensive board, find Tingle, and Tingle get the assist on Shives' make. This is Marissa Brown getting the Toppers up 13-0. They would go up by as much as 15-0 before Fairmont State would even get up score.
Yeah, and I think it comes down to what we keep harping about, and that's getting defense to drive our offense. And we did. We gave them tough shots down, and we got a couple turnovers along the way as well. But it led to us to getting into transition and getting early offense, and we were tough to guard.
And this is a very similar play. You had Samantha Hall tipping the rebound to Audrey Tingle, right to Brandy Beater to get a three-point shot right towards the end of the first quarter. It would be 25-15 at that point. We moved to the second quarter. Another deep three by McKenna Shives, 33-25 for West Liberty.
Yeah, McKenna was really feeling good in this game, and when she's shooting the ball well and confident, it's hard to stop her because she can really get going.
Fairmont State trying to make a comeback. Johnny Olkowski making sure they don't. This three-point shot made it 40-33. McKenna Shives would end the first half with a nice three-point shot, made it 43-33, a 10-point lead at halftime for the Toppers.
And that shot was big for us. It carried a lot of momentum in, and there's a big difference between being up 7 and being up 10 going into a half against a good basketball team.
Marissa Brown making it 52-36 midway through the third. You can see her mobility now. Last year maybe didn't see quite a lot of these plays, but this year she worked hard in the offseason. You can see the difference big time on the court. Belknap making a three-point shot gave West Liberty a 21-point lead, 57-36.
Yeah, Olivia came in here in the third quarter and really gave us a tremendous lift, third and fourth quarter for her, just running lanes for us, and she did a great job on the defensive end. And again, when Olivia is locked in, she gives us a lift that it's hard to even describe how important it is for our success.
Brown there with the and one would make it 67-58. The Brandy Beater with a three-point shot assisted by Marissa Brown made it 78-71. Fairmont State would not go away, but the Toppers would not let them necessarily come back either.
Yeah, and we knew it was going to be a game that we had to really fight to the end. I mean, they're extremely well coached. Coach Mack is a veteran coach that does a tremendous job, and they have talent. So we knew we had to fight to the end, and our team did a good job of pushing through.
McKenna Shives, after Olkowski fights for the rebound, Tingle comes up with it and dishes it to McKenna, 81-73. And Brandy Beater, a nice pass to Brown. She would miss the shot, get the offensive rebound, makes the putback to put the icing on the cake for the Lady Toppers. They would hit free throws the rest of the way and come up with a big victory against rivals Fairmont State, 87-79. McKenna Shives, 27 points, 5 three-pointers. Marissa Brown, another double-double, 22 points and 14 rebounds. Kochman had 32 for Fairmont State, but it was not enough as the Toppers really came to play this past Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, and it was easy to see. That was a game that, as a coach, you're proud to be a part of and proud to see them rewarded with a win, because the reality was we were into it. Like, from start to finish, our players fought like crazy. They ran lanes hard. Just watching those highlights as a refresher for me, it's one of those things where it's highlight reel type plays. So when we make our highlight film at the end of the year, we'll be able to pull a lot from that game. But just playing the way we're supposed to be playing, sharing the basketball, being in tune with the defensive end of things. And yes, Kochman had a great game, and for a freshman, man, is she poised and talented. So she's going to have a great career moving forward. Not looking forward to playing her for another 3.5 years. But again, our players did the things they needed to do to be successful, and it was definitely a team win and a proud win for us. And one thing that hasn't been talked about a lot because you don't kind of transcend a transfer, but McKenna Shives did cash in on her 1,000th point in that game, so she did get the game ball. And again, at West Liberty, it hasn't been 1,000, but across her collegiate career, which has had some ups and downs, it's an exciting thing to see her rewarded for that.
McKenna now over 500 points as a lady topper, but congratulations to McKenna. Great job on your career. Proud to have you here on the Hilltop, and I look forward to watching you play and calling these games the rest of the season. So the Toppers got a big win against Fairmont State, another huge rival game, but they're going to have to put that behind them a little bit, come in to play Chaney the last game before the Christmas break. We go to these highlights, and Chaney coming in from the PSAC. They were up 2-0 at this point, and a shot here by Johnny Olkowski gives the Toppers their first points and a 3-2 lead early on. Chaney would take a lead, but Brown forces a turnover and finishes at the other end 8-7. And again, these are one of those plays. I don't know if you see this last year from Marissa Brown, but it seems like every game you can expect this type of play from her.
Yeah, you can. And just, the way she runs the floor and her mobility is just such a difference. But it's exciting to see her play this way. And, I just wish our team's success was mirroring the fact that she's had a tremendous first third of the year.
And this is McKenna Shives giving the Toppers an 11-10 lead. Fodor now gets the steal here, and the easy bucket using her speed, 17-13. Remember this play, folks, because it's going to happen a few more times in these highlights.
Yeah, and Grace, really can impact the game defensively for us, and we got to get her out in the open court. And she was kind of a bright spot in last night's game from a standpoint of she really did turn it on and fight like crazy the entire time, and her impact was felt.
Now from the corner, the shot is no good, but Tingle gets the offensive board, and the nice spin from Marissa Brown. Again, that team game where everybody can make all kinds of plays for the Lady Toppers, and you see it here.
Yeah, a little bit of an extra effort play. It was a good look for B. She didn't knock it down, and then we were able to collect a rebound and go.
That's another steal for Grace Fodor and another bucket. Made it 19-17, a 2-point game here. Chaney still has the lead. And again, Grace Fodor using that speed, and it's not like Gianni Hill is not fast as well, but Grace just a little bit faster.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with her in the open court. She's one of the better athletes in our league and in our region when she wants to be and gets out on the open floor.
So Marissa Brown would get a little bit of a breather here, but it's Allie Farina into the game, and looking like Marissa Brown, a little bit interchangeable in the game versus Chaney for Marissa and Allie Farina.
Yeah, and Allie gave us a really good lift, and it was great to see her rewarded because she is somebody that's got such a great attitude and works hard for us. And matchup-wise, this was a game that she could really get involved in, and she took advantage of that with her minutes.
Farina again would get it to a 1-point game, give the Toppers the lead 28-27 after this nice move in the lane, but Chaney would take a 37-31 lead into halftime. We moved to the third. Marissa Brown gets the rebound. Tingle quickly gets it up to McKenna Shives for the double clutch. Fast break score, 39-33 Chaney.
Yeah, we really started to make our push in that third quarter based on our transition game. We were getting stops, we were getting out and running. You see Grace Fodor right here just, again, making another defensive play. That's how we have to play, is up and down the court and fast, and we were able to do that in the third quarter, whereas in the first half we struggled getting into transition.
Grace's play there made it a 3-point game, 46-43. Chaney had the lead. Brown would get the offensive rebound, a miss, an offensive rebound, and the bucket. It made it 46-45, a 1-point game. Chaney still had the lead.
Yeah, and again, Marissa just staying with it. This is another part of her transformation. In last year's games, you'd see her miss that shot, and it would just be in panic mode to get back on defense. Now she's confident enough to go make a play.
And Brandy Beater hitting the three here right before the end of the third quarter. Beater getting a big shot there for the Lady Toppers. We move to the fourth quarter. Allie Farina again here with a nice pass from Fodor, 66-64.
Yeah, moving the ball inside out again, and Allie did a nice job of finding Grace, and then she gets rewarded for it. And that's what we talk about all the time. If you share the basketball, everyone can get rewarded in our style of play.
Chaney would build on their lead after that play. The final score would be 81-69. Marissa Brown, 18 points, 13 rebounds, another double-double. She was 8 for 13 from the floor. Grace Fodor, 11 points, 5 assists, 4 steals. Her best game of the season.
Yeah, and for Grace, we need to see that steal number continue to be in that 4 to 5 realm because she can impact the game so much with her athleticism, and we need that. Those are easy baskets for her, increases shooting percentage for the team, increases shooting percentage for herself as well. But we just didn't have an answer for Chaney. They got going early, knocked down a lot of shots down the stretch when we were really giving them some pushes to try to regain that lead. But you saw a senior for them really step up and have a tremendous game, and she played confident, and we let her get going too early.
Ellis with 34 points, great night for her, 7 rebounds as well. But I think for the Lady Toppers, a little bit of the bright spot was Allie Farina and Grace Fodor really showing what they can do coming off the bench, the depth that the Lady Toppers do have off the bench. I think that was a great sign to see last night.
Yeah, and we do have depth, and we need to continue to get production off of the bench, and we need to get production from our starting lineup as well. But again, it's a team concept for us. We've got to have everybody coming together, bringing their individual skill sets and their strengths together so that we can be strong as a team.
Well, the Lady Toppers' next game will be after Christmas. It'll be December 30th at Salem International. So we played them last year down at Salem. We'll play them again. The Toppers will also take on, that'll be an audio-only broadcast. Myself and Kyle Patrick will be down. It's a 6 p.m. start. So be sure to tune into the West Liberty Sports Network to listen to that ballgame against Salem International. West Virginia State will be the first game after Christmas and after the New Year. It'll be January 4th at West Virginia State at 5:30 p.m. We will try to bring you a full video broadcast of that game on the West Liberty Sports Network. When we return, we will take a little bit closer in-depth look at the season so far up to the Christmas break. We'll take a look ahead to some of those ball games as well against Salem and West Virginia State when we return on Hilltopper Sports Weekly. Welcome back to Hilltopper Sports Weekly Women's Basketball Edition. We went over the highlights from the past 3 games. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the season from the start of the season up to the Christmas break. The starting 5, we got our true freshman in Audrey Tingle. We've got some returning players as well. Johnny Olkowski being the most tenured Hilltopper still on the team. What's your assessment of that starting 5 so far this season?
I think it's kind of been what I thought it would be at times, and then other times you're just looking for that spark. And I think that comes with being with a team that's still learning the chemistry and the idea of how to win basketball games together, because this is a group that hasn't had a ton of consistent success. So we're still trying to celebrate those small victories, but there is a lot of positive in it. And we're seeing kids step up week in and week out, and we're having those moments that we need to have. We just need to have them more consistently. Audrey's done a great job as our freshman point guard coming in. That's a hard role to fill. She's stepped right in and she seized it, and she's doing good things. Our veterans are stepping up more and more, and we're seeing Marissa really become a player in our league and in our region, and she's going to make a lot of noise nationally over the next 2 years if she keeps this up.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Marissa Brown, we're going to take a look at what she's done the past 3 games. She's been a double-double machine this season. The past 3 games for her, she's averaged 21.5, a little bit over 21.5 points, 65 points overall, 2 blocks, 2 assists, 34 rebounds. She's also shot 61% from the floor, 62% from the free throw line. Marissa Brown is not that typical post player that you think just tall is going to dominate because of her height, because she can make those foul shots. She can make some nice athletic moves and run up the court and back and play defense. She has really stepped up her game this season.
Yeah, she really has, and it's good to see just that confidence shine for her, and she's making some big-time plays. There are rebounds that she's grabbed that I would have said a year ago there's no chance she ever comes down with, and she continues to impress with it. And, we talked about it in the opening show, her ability to finish with both, she's taken to another level with her ability to see the game. She understands when to duck in, when to go make a play, when not to, when to kick it out, and she just continues to grow more and more. I just wish our wins and losses would look a little bit differently so that we could highlight her a little bit more, because the reality is we are a team that cares enough about one another that we want to see individual success, but the team's going to come first.
And speaking of that team, there's not just the starting 5 for the Lady Toppers. There are some, I would call the second 5 now, with the addition of Allie Farina getting some time last night and playing very well against Chaney. But it's Grace Fodor, Jackie Kitts, Olivia Belknap, also Sam Hall, along with Allie Farina. That second 5 has played pretty well at the start of this season as well.
Yeah, we really have. We've gotten lifts at different times, and one of the things we're working on is just the consistency again. And that's a lot of what you do with a growing team and a maturing team, is working on the consistency. But we have got a tremendous level. I mean, we've gotten, each of those players has impacted us in a major way in at least 1 or 2 games, and we need to continue to have that. And it's a little bit of knowing your role. It's a lot of bit of giving an effort when you get in there and just staying within that role. But as they continue to grow up, I think we're going to see more of a lift, and that's going to be an exciting thing for us depth-wise.
The next game for the Lady Toppers is going to be at Salem International. They also take on West Virginia State after the holidays, or at least after the new year. Salem International not in the Mountain East Conference. West Virginia State is. We know what West Virginia State brings with Sydney Bates and Shay Hines, along with Coach Charles Marshall. You know they're going to be a tough test coming up.
Yeah, and you know, we haven't got much chance to look into West Virginia State at all. You know, we just wrap up the first half. We're going to do a lot of self-reflection, self-scout, clean some things up when we get back, and we're going to focus a lot on Salem International. But it'll definitely be a tremendous challenge to go on the road for our first 2 coming out. But much like we started the beginning of the year, we don't like to make it easy on ourselves, that's for sure. So we'll get Salem first, and then we'll prepare for West Virginia State after.
Well, it sounds good, Coach. That'll be the end of this segment on Hilltopper Sports Weekly Women's Basketball Edition. The Toppers have played a tough schedule to start this season. That will not change. Coming up here soon to start the new year in 2018. When we return, we'll take a look around the Mountain East Conference and see a little bit of Christmas talk here on Hilltopper Sports Weekly. Welcome back to Hilltopper Sports Weekly. We take a look at the women's basketball Mountain East Conference standings. Glenville State still 8-1, 6-0, undefeated in the conference. Maybe not too much of a surprise to a whole lot of people that Glenville's playing well. Notre Dame at 8-3, 5-1. Charleston and Urbana both at 4-2 in conference. Then a logjam tied for 5th with Wesleyan, West Liberty, and West Virginia State all at 3-3. And 3 more teams, Shepherd, Concord, and Jesuit, all at 2-4. Then Fairmont and Wise both at 1-5 in Mountain East Conference play. Coach, anything surprising on the conference standings?
No, not a whole lot surprising. I guess, you know, it is. We knew Glenville would be out in front, and we did get to see that firsthand when we went to their place to start the year. You know, the one thing that's interesting about our conference right now is it is jam-packed right now in the middle, and that is something that's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out, especially because when we get back from the holiday, a lot of those teams are going to be matched up against one another. So we'll probably start to see some separation for the good or the bad for different teams once we get through that next couple weeks.
Well, as a viewer and fan of the Mountain East, it's going to be fun to watch those games, maybe a little bit more wrenching for coaches and other teams to watch from every school in the Mountain East Conference. But for viewers and fans of the Mountain East, this is going to be fun to see at the start of the new year. Mountain East Conference Player of the Week from Concord, Madison May, got the award. She averaged 25.5 points and 9 rebounds. She shot 59% from the floor as the Mountain Lions went 1-1 this past week. She was 9 of 15 for 21 points and 7 rebounds against Glenville. And then she had 30 points and 11 rebounds with 6 assists to get Concord a win over West Virginia Wesleyan.
Yeah, and for Madison May, that was a good leadership for her to guide. That's a good West Virginia Wesleyan team that they got a quality win against, and a lot of it's accredited to her play, and she shot the ball really, really well.
I think that's enough for Mountain East Conference talk. It is Christmas time. It was the final game before the Christmas break. The team will get a break. You, the coaches, and the players will get a break for Christmas and the holidays and whatnot. So what's that going to be like for the team?
We're very big on the family atmosphere, and that means not only our family and our program, but spending time with yours. So we do give our players some time off. They were able to leave after the game last night. They'll get about 2 weeks off, and then we'll get back after it for a 3 or 4 day prep before we play Salem International. But for that time, we want them to kind of shut it down. Obviously try to stay in shape and not be foreign to a basketball, but to just enjoy some time off, recharge the batteries, get a break from us, get a break from their teammates in the sense of it. As much as we all love each other, we all need a break, and that's their time to just kind of do their thing. As a coaching staff, we'll definitely have some self-reflection and self-scout, get a plan for coming back, but we need the time as well. It'll be nice to spend time with my wife and son, and take that quality time that you need to have at the holidays.
Well, since it is Christmas time, I was going to ask you, what do you think You know these players, you've been around them a lot, and your coaches, your assistant coaches, you've been around them quite a bit. What do you think, at least your assistant coaches, first with Cassie Seth, what do you think would be Coach Cassie's favorite or most wanted Christmas gift this year?
Knowing her and that competitiveness that she has and that lack of filter, she'd be screaming right now if I didn't say just a couple of wins when we get back from break. But I think the time off will be pretty rewarding for her too. She can get some time with her family, and this has been a quick transition. You know, I mean, she jumped in with both feet, so that'll be good for her. And with Robbie, I'm not sure what he would ask for. Maybe since we play a lot of spades with Coach Ullum, maybe a couple of new decks since they're starting to get a little shredded. But I know they'll enjoy Christmas as a team. Marissa is a huge Christmas fan. She's kind of our own version of Elf on the team, and I know they've liked the lights and everything else that's been going on in the area, so now they'll get some time back home.
You know, that just kind of dawned on me for the women's players that aren't from around this area. They come in, they get to see the lights down at Ogilby and get to drive through those to go down to Sheets or over to get some food off the hill anytime. So it's good to have that in this area, maybe a little bit of a recruiting tool if there's any more Christmas fans that are in high school that want to come play basketball up here for the Lady Tarpers. So, Coach, thank you for being on the show. Have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Same to the viewers out there. Thank you for watching. Thank you to Teresa Gretchen for helping film this show today. All the viewers at home, Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, and join us next time for Hilltopper Sports Weekly Women's Basketball Edition.